So I was in the shower and mid-charcoal scrub, I got to thinking, about a year ago, I reviewed a certain film on this channel, a really gross film that I shall not do the credit of naming. And how now, a year later, there's a film with a similar subject matter coming out in theaters called Slender Man. I mentioned in the previously mentioned video that I'm part of a certain community online, some of you may know as the Slenderverse, quote unquote. For those of you who don't know, it's really weird and complicated, and basically it centers around a bunch of Blair Witch-esque video series uploaded to YouTube telling, you know, creepy horror stories mostly centered around Slender Man, sometimes not. Shameless self-promotion here. And now you have this new feature-length Slender Man film by Sony coming out. And I kind of wanted to give my own thoughts on it, since a lot of the internet is abuzz either for or against it, especially after the trailer dropped, and then especially after the father of one of the girls from the stabbing said that this is exploiting a tragedy. He kind of loses credibility with the fact that his daughter was the one who tried to murder a young girl. The internet seems to be split into several camps. There are the people who find this movie to be exploiting a tragedy, just like the father. And to those people I say, you're dumb. There are the people who are saying that this film looks bad because it's full of generic horror tropes, and I mean, they're not entirely wrong. There are people who are saying that this movie is awful and it shouldn't be made because the only ways that Slender Man can be done right are by the people in the Slenderverse. And to those people I say, shut the fuck up, because your favorite YouTube series aren't the Bible, no matter how close I may be with the creators. To all of these groups, I really have one argument that I've been making, which is that this character has existed long before, long after the stabbing. This is nothing new. This character has existed long before and long after your favorite YouTube series. This is nothing new. This character has existed long enough that there are plenty of horror tropes and plenty of basically Slender Man tropes at this point that if you look at this trailer, you're gonna see a lot of familiar territory. Yeah, the character has been adapted a million times over, and as a result, one, there's not much originality left in terms of new concepts. It's what you do with those concepts that matters. And two, this film will not be the end-all be-all of Slender Man. It'll be another interpretation that will either be praised or forgotten. Shocker. And then there's people like me. I am kind of excited for this. I saw the trailer and I was actually fairly surprised. Does it have some familiar imagery and horror tropes? Yeah, but it's a fucking modern horror movie. What do you expect? When I heard modern Hollywood Slender Man movie, I was not expecting the content we got in this trailer. I was expecting something really obnoxious and teeny bopper-ish, something along the lines of the Bye Bye Man, something with a lot of really annoying teenagers who are laughing and joking and screaming and just being generally obnoxious teenagers, something that you'd see along the lines of the Bye Bye Man or Wish Upon, a bunch of high school obnoxious assholes who summon Slender Man by accident and then have to deal with him, and there's a bunch of jump scares and a bunch of loud, obnoxious party music. That is what I was expecting when I heard Hollywood Slender Man film. So when I saw this trailer, and what I got was more akin to something like The Ring, with really cool, weird, trippy visuals and a darker, more grim color palette, some would say desaturated, and I don't entirely disagree, I wasn't expecting this. I was not expecting something that looks more like it would come from A24, in terms of its tone at least, than what we got. I was expecting the Bye Bye Man, I was expecting Wish Upon, I was expecting something like the trailer for Truth or Dare, which we've seen. And so when I got this trailer, I was pleasantly surprised. I've seen a lot of Slender Man content. There's a lot of films out there based around the character. Guess what? None of them are good. Always Watching Marble Hornet Story, Hilo. Wendigo came close to being good, but guess what? It wasn't, because the last 10 minutes were just a fucking train wreck. And then, of course, there's the infamous YouTube video.
Oh my god! Stay back! I know your weakness!
No. Put that away. Put that away.
All of them are really bad. There is yet to be a good Slender Man film, and do I think this one will be it? Probably not. I've seen enough, and I'm far too jaded to think that Sony will be the one to get it right. But Do I think that the trailer was decently promising and had some cool visuals and offered a take that I never expected to see? Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. And it definitely shot higher up on my hype list for the year, that's for sure. I'm not really sure what the point of this video was. I just kind of wanted to talk about it because I know a lot of people were abuzz about this on the internet. So there's my 2 cents. Like, comment, subscribe.